Welcome back to On the Rise, as it's done, as Grégoire Świderski, the 18-year-old Canadian youth international goalkeeper, is on the move, and he has found a brand new club, as he is headed off to a top 5 league, and he is going to Spain to join La Liga side in Deportivo Alavés in an impressive and very exciting move for an 18-year-old Canadian to go to a top 5 league, to go to a very exciting club who is truly on the rise. And this is all around a great move for Grégoire Świderski, who was most recently, of course, with Bordeaux before the French club very sad and very unfortunately folded and is no longer a club. And now Grégoire Świderski became a free agent, went on multiple trials, and found himself ending up at Deportivo Alavés. And it's a brilliant choice of club for Grégoire Świderski to find himself going to, and I absolutely love this move. And we're going to break it down and give you guys my reaction around Grégoire Świderski heading off to Spain. But before we do, guys, jump down below in the comments. Let me know your guys' thoughts on Grégoire Świderski. Was it the right move? Would you like to see him in the MLS or maybe back in Liga? And let me know down below in the comments. Drop a like, hit that sub button, guys, because I appreciate all the support. And we're going to jump straight into things, because Grégoire Świderski is a very exciting profile for a goalkeeper. At 18 years old, he was, of course, most recently with the Canadian U20 setup, where he looked absolutely phenomenal in goal. One of the true shining lights of that Canadian team, along with Santiago Lopez. And Grégoire Świderski, off the back of a very good stint with the Canadian U20 side, and of course, having so much talent, such a high ceiling, has earned an incredible transfer. As this is all being reported from One Soccer's Josh Deming, who reported on Twitter saying this, source, it's a done deal. Canadian U20 goalkeeper Grégoire Świderski has signed a 3-year deal with La Liga club Deportivo Alavés. Excellent move for the young talent, and it truly is. I absolutely love this transfer for Grégoire Świderski. In Spain, it's a great opportunity to play great football, but ultimately, he's going to a top 5 league. Yes, you can ask the question of, is he going to be in that first team? Is he going to be pushing to start in the senior squad? And that's a definite no, especially at this point in time in his career. He's 18 years old. Goalkeepers really don't hit their true stride, their true prime, until their late to early 30s. But nowadays, they're getting a lot better, a lot younger, and Grégoire Świderski is a perfect example of that. But in Spain, playing for a top 5 league and a top 5 league side in Deportivo Alavés, it's going to give Grégoire Świderski a great stepping stone, a great opportunity to play with the second side, where I really think he's going to get the start and get a lot of opportunities with Deportivo Alavés' B side and be able to play a consistent level. And if he can prove himself with Deportivo Alavés' B side, I think he has a great chance at coming up and being a backup for them, whether that's playing in the cup competitions, whether that's playing in La Liga. That's a long stretch, as their current goalkeeper is the captain of their side. So Grégoire Świderski has made a great transfer, but it's not one where you're looking at him to start immediately. This is an 18-year-old goalkeeper. We don't want to be putting any sort of massive expectations on his shoulders immediately. This is Grégoire Świderski, who is a very exciting talent, but is still also extremely young. Albeit he's joining a top 5 league side, we don't need to pile on expectations to him. I think this is a great opportunity for him to start with the B side, work his way up the totem pole at Deportivo Alavés, and potentially earn a very exciting loan move maybe. Or eventually, if Deportivo Alavés' starting goalkeeper gets bought, then he has a great opportunity, already proving himself at Deportivo, that he could walk in and maybe challenge for that number 1 role. This is a goalkeeper in Grégoire Świderski who is an excellent talent. We've seen it with the U20s, and he has such a high ceiling as well. And when you look at Grégoire Świderski, he is a showstopper. He makes top-notch saves. We saw it with the U20s. He's very neat, very tidy, great with his hands, and it's very exciting to watch him play. And I'm not going to talk about like I've seen him outside of the Canadian U20 setup, because I haven't, and I'm not going to be one of those people who say that, because I've only watched him with the Canadian U20 setup, and he was very exciting. But also, when you talk about Grégoire Świderski, after leaving Bordeaux where the club folded, he went on multiple trial stints, and it was really down to CF Montreal and Deportivo Alavés. And it's one thing I really want to talk about here is, some people might have wanted to see him at CF Montreal, but I completely didn't. we'd have 3 Canadian goalkeepers there: Sebastian Breza, Jonathan Sirois, and Grégoire Świderski. And really, you got to look at it as, is he going to get in that starting team? Because really, if they don't have a B-side where Grégoire Świderski can see a stepping stone, see a pathway to Europe or anything like that, if he would have been that immediate starter for CF Montreal where he could be the backup and see a pathway, then fair play. But it would have made absolutely no sense to see Grégoire Świderski head off and join CF Montreal. I would have absolutely not liked him to sign there, because the 2 clubs that we knew he was trialing at were CF Montreal and Deportivo Alavés, 2 sides interested in him. And CF Montreal made no sense. Jonathan Sirois is the Canadian number 3 goalkeeper, or number 4 between him and Tom McGill right now. And he's always going to be starting for CF Montreal unless he earns that transfer to Europe. And Grégoire Świderski has completely made the right move here. He's gone to Europe. He's gone back to Europe, of course, previously with Bordeaux. And he knows how important that is to play European football, to be in that sort of environment, to be in a top 5 league, to have that chance at developing and training with top level coaches, top level players. And who knows, he might get called up to train with the Deportivo Alavés first team eventually. And even just training with that first team is going to do him a whole world of good. But ultimately, this is a major transfer for Canada. And ultimately, the more players we get in Europe, especially at a younger age, at 18 years old, at 17 years old, playing or in academies at European sides, it does a whole world of good for Canadian soccer, because Grégoire Świderski is a great example of a young, talented, exciting Canadian. And I think he has the whole world ahead of him and a very high ceiling. So it's going to be very exciting to see what he can produce at Deportivo Alavés, especially with their B-side. Hopefully, he can start on a consistent basis for their second team. But guys, it's done. And Grégoire Świderski is a Spanish footballer at Deportivo Alavés, but ultimately a very exciting Canadian talent. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments about Grégoire Świderski not choosing CF Montreal and joining Deportivo Alavés. Make sure to drop a like, hit that sub button, guys. I appreciate all the support. It's absolutely incredible. Love interacting with you guys. I'm trying to produce as much content as possible. And guys, I'll see you guys all for the next one. Peace.